You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 550 for Sunday, the 1st of June, 2026.
Where dreams begin.
Hello, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle. Let's just tell our viewers, our listeners, that we are two stressed ladies at the moment because technology is battling against us. But we're getting there, aren't we? We hope,
Yes.
fingers crossed.
So thank you, everybody, for coping over the last two podcasts. Content, amazing. Audio could have been better. I am so sorry. We have had an issue with the service that we have been using for the last eons to record our podcast. It's no longer available. And I use a Mac system. Jane doesn't. So having a system that is also Mac and Windows friendly is a nightmare. And then
Yeah.
getting a system that'll get us both speaking and record, it's been HELL. I will not lie. So fingers crossed, this recording will actually be in your ears rather than left in our laptops. So without further ado, we have an amazing, if not slightly unhinged, show for you this week, where we are going to talk about all things wonderful in the wonderful land of Disney theme parks.
Where dreams begin.
On this week in Disney history, on today's day in 1911, actor Eric Rolfe was born. How do we know him? Well, he played John in Disney's 1946 Song of the South. He was born in Minneapolis and he was married to actress Ruth Warrick. Well, when I say married, they were married for 8 years. She played Sally in Song of the South. So what a coincidence. I'm now moving to this day in 1933, and the very first Mickey Mouse watch was sold by Ingersoll Waterbury, a Connecticut clockmaker who was about to go bankrupt. The sale of the watches literally saved the company.
Where dreams begin.
This week's show is going to kick off with a little bit of a top 10. We've not done a top 10 for absolutely ages, Jane, have we?
We haven't, no.
And I was sat having a little think about, well, a lot of people who are planning their trips, they're saving up their money, and there are some people that are perhaps not as au fait as seasoned theme park guests as we are, that make their first pilgrimage to our wonderful magical place and perhaps just don't know the social nuances of visiting a theme park, of what is appropriate and perhaps what is not appropriate. So we thought we would have a little bit of a dawdle through some of the things that you may find some others doing and you should ignore them and not do it yourself.
Yes, this is Disney Etiquette 101.
Yes. So the first thing is, number one, clothing. Let's get this sorted. Right. Nice and simple. If you are an adult, you cannot wear a costume that makes you look the identical of a character. E.g., you can't turn up looking like you are Cinderella. That is verboten.
You can bound, you can embody, but you can't replicate.
However, you can dress as Cinderella if you go to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, providing certain criteria are met. For example, your dress cannot trail on the ground, you cannot sign autographs or try and get other people to think you are the real Cinderella. What else? You can't wear a mask.
No,
there are some rules. But yes, you're right. You can bound, but as an adult, you are not allowed to rock up and tell everybody you're Cinderella. It's not allowed.
No.
So while we're on the topic of that, it is appropriate for guests prior to going to a Disney theme park to think that they are going to a family-friendly place. So, ladies, let's start with you first. when you are considering what top to wear, please consider whether your décollage is going to pop out of your top when you are going down the bayou on Tiana's wonderful splashdown adventure, because it no longer is Flash Mountain. Just bear that in mind.
Yes, just think about what you're wearing and how well it's going to stay in place.
Yes, because there are a few attractions that might sort of alter your clothing a little bit because of the inertia or gravity, etc. And you've also got to think about, if you are going in the summer, you may come across some rainfall and it can make things see-through. Now,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sure there are gentlemen listening and they are saying, shut up, Michelle. We like it when a lady's outfit malfunctions because we get a cheap frill. Yes, we know that, ladies and gentlemen, don't we? But let's be honest, it's a family place and let's leave that kind of behaviour elsewhere.
Very true.
The next one, keep your damn clothes on.
Well, I would
We've all
like to think
seen
we
it.
all do that, Michelle.
Well, sadly not. Over in Disneyland, a gentleman decided to take all their clothes off.
I don't even know where to start on that one.
It's like, what the chicken pox is happening there? Because he was in a dangerous situation on top of a marquee, and it was like, oh my lord, please stop what you are doing. So
Again,
clothing, keeping on your body is very important. And we've seen it over the years. You know, maybe someone wants to get their name made a little bit for being the person who goes into a said fountain, takes the clothes off, has a bit of a dip, puts a towel around them. Just remember, any behaviour like that is probably going to get you a lifetime ban.
I was going to say, this is a thing to consider, isn't it? It's like it may be funny at the time, but you might live to regret it for a long time afterwards.
Yeah. So that is clothing. The
Mm,
next one. Some things have been built and created in the theme parks that have spent hours and hours of imagination and creativity to really immerse you in the setting, in the
mm,
scenery.
mm.
However, they are not fancy climbing frames. Where do you
Yes.
think I'm thinking of, Janie?
Well, we've had a few instances recently. Wasn't it the Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom that somebody decided was a good idea to climb up?
Let's have a look at this great big tree and let's try an ascent to the top. How quick am I going to end up in A&E on life support when I fall? Because believe it or not, gentlemen and ladies, we are not made of rubber. So when we go splat on the tarmac, we go splat.
Oh, yeah, and I can't understand. I mean, I'm a little bit paranoid about. I don't like walking on grass if I don't think I should be there. Do you know what I mean? It's like it wouldn't even enter my brain to climb over fences to get to some. If there's a fence there for a reason, surely to goodness. Or is
Yeah,
that just me in my warped imagination? I don't know.
it's been the same with the Mexico Pavilion, people trying to climb up the
Mm,
pyramid and the temple there. It's like, hang on a minute. What?
yeah.
Yeah. The next one. Going to a theme park for most people is an exhilarating, exciting experience.
Hmm.
However, if you are not used to pounding the pavements, you can incur the Disney rash.
Ooh.
And it ain't a pleasant one. And it normally occurs to people that are not used to the excessive amount of walking that you do. And as well as the Disney rash, there's blisters. We all know the pain where you just literally cannot put one foot in front of the other because the pain in your feet is so bad.
Yeah. Don't wear brand new trainers when you go to Disney World. Make sure you've worn them in first.
Now, it's one of the most common threads that you ever see on any messaging board. What footwear should I wear in the theme parks? You need to wear something comfortable. You need
Mm,
to wear something that is going to support you, that is not going to cause blisters or uncomfort, because even the most dawdler of dawdlers are going to probably do easily 15,000 steps in a day. I have
Oh,
been
yeah.
known to do 35,000 steps on a theme park day when I've been walking around, hopping all over park to park to park. And that for a lot of people is a lot. Walking 10 to 15 miles in one day is not something that a lot of people do every single day. So my top piece of advice for you would be build yourself up a little bit, get
Yes,
used to
absolutely.
walking
Yeah.
and standing still, because believe it or not, there's queues everywhere.
So funny that, isn't it? Queues in a
Yeah.
theme park. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. And then this links into the next bit while we're talking about walking, Jane, because
Mm.
this one really boils my blood.
Oh, okay. What's
Those
this one?
people that are either a zombie or think that they're in a shopping mall, so that they're just doodling along, not realizing there's about 4,000 people behind them, and they're looking
Mm.
at the phone and they have no idea of what's happening in this vicinity. There might be an increase in the curb level, or you could just stop dead and there's about 6 people deep behind you who just face plant you to the floor. Please, 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 if you need to look at your phone, move to the side or practice walking with your phone a little bit before you go on your vacay. And maybe think, if you're a slow walker, consider this.
Yeah, it's my biggest bugbear. I mean, I know we're probably all guilty of it at various times, but it's when I'm out and about just normally, and you see somebody walking towards you with their head in the phone, and you think, if I don't move out of your way, are you actually going to walk into me? And it's my biggest bugbear about why we're now so reliant on an app. And it's like, it's stopping people from enjoying what's around them and just keeping their head buried in a phone. And we need to lift up our heads every now and then and enjoy what life is bringing us, not what the screen is telling us.
Yeah. I'm also going to say courtesy for those with push chairs and ECVs and human pushed propelled wheelchairs, because having utilized all of these in the theme parks, it is incredibly difficult to do so. But then on the flip side, certain people who have an ECV need to have their sort of thinking head on, because some of them really need cow catchers because they just think they can plow through people.
Yes, I think it's a little bit of common courtesy on both sides of that one, isn't it?
Yeah. The next one is thinking about walking 15 people abreast, hand in hand down Main Street. That's not a good idea.
No, be mindful, guys. It's like, I know we all want to stay in our little groups or big groups, but please be considerate of all the other guests that are there who may want to walk, hand in hand with their loved one, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about what you're doing.
So we're in the theme park. We've walked sensibly with worn appropriate clothing. We're going to hit an attraction.
Yay.
Is it good practice, Jane, for one person to go in line and then 7 or 8 others just stop
No,
and have a character
no,
picture, or
no,
7 or 8 others to go to the toilet and then go
no,
and join their friend in the line who saved the space for 7 of them?
no. There's no discussion, Michelle. It's just no. It's just not
Yeah.
polite, is it?
We understand that you're in line and little darling Jacob needs to go to the toilet. So one of your party goes with little Jacob, takes him to the toilet, and then gets yourself back in line. That
Yeah,
is totally fine.
absolutely. Yeah.
But sending somebody ahead while you take a child to the toilet, that is not acceptable. If you're in the line, yes. If you're not in the line, no, because that is queue jumping.
Yeah, and I think it's that thing, isn't it, of like if somebody's gone ahead while 4 or 5 other people go and ride another ride, then that's bang out of order as well. It's just that, yeah. No, we're all in it together. If we all take the hit, then it all moves a lot smoother and we don't get these flash points and these aggro points then, do we?
Yeah. Just ask yourself, is the majority of the party joining the line at the same time because the others have gone to the bathroom? It is not appropriate for the others to go and do other things in the park, because that's not really cricket. And we know some of the lines are really ridiculously long, but we all have to put up with them and it's not fair.
Exactly.
So, next one. We're in line. We're
Hmm.
doing the right thing. We're,
Hmm.
all our parties together. We're
Hmm.
really excited about going on the attraction.
Yeah.
We're walking through the queue. We're having a chat. We're enjoying it. Some
Hmm.
people are maybe playing a game on the phone. The one where you ask questions and you have your
Oh
phone on your
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
What's it called? Headbands or
Heads up.
something?
Heads up. Yeah.
Heads up. That's the one. Totally fine, amazing, entertain each other. Your kiddie winkles might be having a quick snack. Fantastic. When you get on the ride,
Mm.
don't eat,
No.
don't drink,
No.
don't use flash on your phone,
Oh
don't
no.
try and book your next lightning lane, don't annoy people around them to say every single word in the stretching room because other people have never done it before and they want to hear it for
Yeah.
themselves. They don't want to hear you. Don't surprise people what's coming next because this isn't fair.
No. Again, just stop for a minute. Put down the technology and the food and the drink and sit in your ride vehicle and enjoy the ride.
The number of times I've had an attraction spoiled because someone wants to take a picture on Pirates of the Caribbean, or they sat behind me and they're narrating It's a Small World over what lightning lane shall we book first. It's like, why have you bothered coming on this attraction? You
Yeah.
might as well have sat on a bench and done what you did.
Yes, exactly.
Enjoy what is around you.
Yeah, and flash photography, it's only going to light up what's in front of you. It's not going to light up the thing that you're wanting to take the picture of. So just don't bother.
Yeah. But then you get off the attraction, you've had an amazing time.
Yay.
Nobody spoiled it for you. You had a
Wonderful.
fantastic time. You loved it. And you think, do you know what? Let's go get something to eat or drink
Yeah, that'd be a
because we
nice
all
thing
get
to do.
hungry. Right.
Absolutely.
So you go and enter a line or you
Hmm.
choose to mobile order.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in mobile ordering because you
Mm.
can sit somewhere in the shade and you can get everybody's order together looking at the menu and press send and it gets ordered. Do not go in a queue for food without looking at that menu because I really hate it when people get to the counter and they don't have a clue what they're going to order.
I stand there going, maybe, I really don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no.
And
Be
I
prepared,
appreciate
people.
there are some people that have to speak to the chef because of allergy
Absolutely.
requirements. And
That's not what we're talking
that's,
about.
no, it's those people that get to the front. Oh, you sell Dole Whip here. What flavours of Dole Whip do you have? What size of Dole Whip can I have? Can I have it with a drink at the bottom? What drink can I have at the Oh my lord. Yeah. So you're in the queue. You're not going to wait at the till for ages because you know what you're doing. You go and get your food. And at that point, you and your party go and look for somewhere to sit. You do not send your 6-year-old to go sit on their own and you go join the queue because that's not cricket either. Because you could be 15, 20 minutes in that queue. While
Mm.
meanwhile, little 6-year-old is sat on his own, stranger danger. Now we all know Disney fans are normally lovely people, but unfortunately, not every Disney fan may be a lovely person. Don't
No,
leave little Jacob on his own.
no, it's twofold, isn't it? Don't leave little ones on their own. It's not their job to look after your table for you. And actually, it's just stopping somebody else from having that table. And if we all just take our turn, the tables will rotate and you'll be able to find somewhere.
Perfect. So you've ridden,
Hmm.
you've eaten,
Hmm.
you're now going to wander around and perhaps you want to go and watch the parade.
Oh,
What
that'd
a
be nice.
beautiful way to spend your afternoon.
Mm.
So the top tip is you look at what time the parade starts and then count back about 45 minutes and get there about 45 minutes prior. Why?
Mm.
It gets busy. There's nothing worse than people turning up at the exact time the parade is due to come past and then they suddenly realise there is no way for them to sit. And then they turn around and say, would you mind if my little Jacob stands in front of you so that they can see? Please don't do that.
No, because then
Don't
we're
be
made
that
out to be the
person.
bad guy, aren't we, if we say no?
Yeah. And then before you know it, there's an entire family stood in front of you and you can't see.
Yeah.
So that's just a pet peeve. And then the same goes for the evening fireworks spectacular. Get there a little bit earlier. Now, out of common courtesy for other guests who want to see it, please don't try and record the wonderful spectacular by lifting your phone, iPad, tablet 16 foot in the air. Do it at your eye level sight and tilt the phone. It works wonders.
It does. And you know what? If you're really tall, because I had this on our last trip, if you're really tall, you must know that you're a really tall person. Just try and be mindful of where you're standing, and don't go and stand in front of little people or on a curb and block somebody else's view. Not saying that it happened to me. Maybe it did.
I think it's happened to every one of us, Jane.
Mm.
But do you know what's even better than that?
Mm.
You're ready. You've got your view. There's someone in front of you who's only 5 foot tall and you're celebrating. You know you're going to get a great view. And then literally the lights on Main Street go down and suddenly a 12-year-old is put on that adult's shoulder and you now can't see anything because there is someone who was originally 5 foot tall has now got an extra 3 foot of 12-year-old on their shoulder.
Shoulders. Yeah. That's not cricket either, is it?
No. Do they need to be on top of your head? No. Plant them to the hip. Stand at the side where it's more considerate for other people behind you. And whilst we're on the topic, let's us Disney adults just remember wearing a Mickey hat, the sorcerer hat particularly, during fireworks can obscure other people's behind you's view. Be a kind person. Take it off.
Yeah.
I'm being really, really, really picky tonight, aren't I, Jane? I'm really sorry. But I just think it will totally enrich the parks for everybody.
No, I think it's this thing, isn't it? We all have our little moans and groans from time to time, and we are trying to be humorous about this but within the humour, there is an element of do unto others as you do unto yourself, or however the phrase goes, and it is just a case of put your patience pants on and just remember there's more than you at these parks, and perhaps if you just stop and think a little bit, we can all enjoy it together rather than people, causing somebody else's experience not to be what it could be. And that's when I think people get a little bit grouchy and a little bit gripey and a little bit not so nice as they could be.
I am going to end the podcast on something I found mind-blowing.
Okay.
So, listeners, if you ever plan a trip to the United Kingdom, particularly London, be aware. A particular shop in London was raided by the police after charging tourists £899 for 2 packets of sweets.
What?
Oh, yeah. The disgruntled tourists complained, so Westminster Council discovered that the candy shop hadn't just been overcharging, they were selling magic mushroom cookies that were actually CBD products
Oh
at this
dear.
particular shop in London. They raided it and it just, yeah. 2 shop assistants fled downstairs to avoid capture by using a secret exit hidden behind a panel in the basement so they could get up to street level. But basically the police followed them and they found a hidden room which was crammed full of apparently counterfeit goods.
Ooh.
The raid brought about the biggest ever haul of suspected fake goods from a store in Oxford Street with a street value of £80,000. The case was brought by Westminster Council following the discovery of cookies and CBD goods and goods that didn't have labels that were up to the UK English food standards.
Naughty people.
Yeah, naughty people. So those of you who wish to go and buy American candies in London, be careful and make sure you know the price before you pay.
Just put your common sense hat on. If it sounds like it's ridiculous, it probably is ridiculous for a very good reason.
Yeah. And curiously enough, Jen, this also linked back to our experience in New York, that a lot of the food trucks had prices saying if you wanted a hot dog, it was X amount. But a notorious thing is for some of the food trucks is not to show their prices. And they have a two-tier pricing system of charging whatever they like, dependent on the customer who comes and orders the food. So if you're from out of town, you might get charged $15 for a hot dog. Whereas if you look like you're a localer, you get $2.50 price.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.